Objectives. After listening to this lecture, you'll be able to describe health education. Health education. True or false? Research studies provide evidence that promoting and establishing healthy behaviors for younger people is more effective and often easier than efforts to change unhealthy behaviors already established in adults. Of course, that is true. According to the CDC's Healthy Youth Initiative and the Carnegie Council on Adolescent Development, schools can play a vital role in establishing healthy behavior patterns among young people that carry over into adulthood. What health education is not. So now that we've talked about what health is, let's talk about health education. What is health education? First, I'll tell you what it's not. Health education is not physical education. I believe that these two disciplines are definitely related, but are distant cousins rather than siblings, I guess you could say. In other words, I believe they are more different than they are similar. They're somewhat related disciplines in that they both include the goal of getting people to be physically fit. Adopting a lifestyle of being physically active is the primary goal of physical education. Adopting a lifestyle of being physically active is only one of many goals of health education, because remember that health includes much more than the physical. Because the goals of each discipline are very different, responsibilities and competencies of a health educator are very different than that of a physical educator. The predominant domain of learning that is addressed by most disciplines is the cognitive domain. Math, science, history, reading, and language arts. They all require cognitive learning or using your head. The prominent domain of learning for physical education is the psychomotor or physical learning, learning how to physically do something, such as learning how to play volleyball. The predominant domain of learning that health education addresses is the affective domain of learning, or feelings and emotions and attitudes and values. You could say that the cognitive domain is using your head, the psychomotor is using your body, and the affective is using your heart. Health educators have to know how to help others change attitudes and feelings so that permanent behavior change can take place. Health education is much more broad than physical education and includes a greater diversity of subject matter. Health education encompasses everything from drugs to sex education to nutrition to stress management to accident prevention to environmental health to diseases of the body, etc. Consequently, health education is done in multiple settings, whereas physical education is typically done only in the schools. I'm not saying that health education is better than physical education in any way. What I am saying is that they are very different fields. Unfortunately, many physical educators are asked to teach health in the schools because school districts are trying to save money. But many physical educators are not prepared because their educational background is very different than that of a health educator. Health education is not simply good hygiene, teaching kids about the importance of brushing their teeth or washing their hands, although they may certainly be part of health education. It's not watered down anatomy, physiology, biology, or any combination of those sciences. It's most definitely not or should not be a lecture for a rainy day activity, or incidental teaching in response to momentary health problems or concerns, although contemporary health issues are important to address. So what is health education then? Health education represents both a discipline or field of study and a profession or field of work. The profession involves motivating people to improve their lifestyles that result in better health. Health education as a discipline is an applied science. It's a body of knowledge that represents biological, behavioral, sociological, and psychological aspects. Just as health is holistic and multidimensional, health education is holistic and multidimensional. Just as health is comprehensive and all-encompassing, health education is comprehensive and all-encompassing. Just as health has to do with the total being, health education has to do with the total being. Knowledge is a desired purpose, but not the primary goal of health education. The ultimate goal of health education is the development of a healthy lifestyle that reflects actions that promote health. Key points. Health education is not the same thing as physical education. They may be related, but there are more differences than similarities. Health education is holistic, comprehensive, all-encompassing, and multidimensional. It's a body of knowledge that represents biological, behavioral, sociological, and psychological aspects, and that's it.